Hey guys, it's the owner behind Wildcard. I'm going to show you a few different techniques on how to do your rounded corners, shapes, cutouts, and so forth. Because I've seen a few people trying to use templates for the corners, or I've seen tutorials where they're like, here's the image with the rounded corner, select the white stuff, and you pretty much have a round corner. And in the beginning I tried to do that myself when everything started to be rounded corners, and to be honest it just comes out like crap. And so it's easier for me with failed and successful attempts to show you how I really do it now, which takes me literally like 2 minutes. Bam, have a great default. And so for the four corners I'm going to show you basically how to do a round small one, kind of like a picture frame, or the one where you could have like a circle image in the middle and all corners are big. And so I'm going to show you both ways. So first thing is first is you go to your new layers panel and make a new layer, and then you go to your rectangular marquee and hold down and go to your elliptical marquee tool. So that basically gives you the option to make a circle. And so I try my best to go from top to bottom. Sometimes it's not that perfect, so what I do is select transform selection and I just snap it. Let's see, there we go, to the corner. This is the one where the corners are larger, so you have like a circle image in the middle. And so it's not completely done, because if you do now the fill, it's going to cover her face and you don't want that. So right click, select inverse, and now your corners are selected. And now go to edit, fill, have it on white, and press OK. And now all your corners are selected, and you do Control D on Windows. Forgot what the option is for Mac, so that's the large four corners. Now I'm going to show you how to do the smaller corners. Same thing, have your circle marquee and then have select transform and then go to your corner, and you can make your corner as big or as small as you want, and as long as these are touching the edge, you're good. And let's say about that big. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Then press OK. Same thing as you did before. If you don't like it's not on the edge, just go to do the select transform. But for me, for right now, I kind of like that. Do select inverse, and then do a new layer, fill, white, and then do Control D for deselect, and go to your marquee select tool and go back to your rectangular so you could cut out what you don't need. So I like to go between, like you see that little gap between the corner thing, whatever you want to call it, and then I do delete on my keyboard and it deletes, and then I do the same thing for this area, then delete, and now you have one corner. So if you like one corner, sometimes people do that, you can do that. And if you want the four corners as I am instructing you to, then awesome. Layer, duplicate it, and then you go to edit, transform, flip horizontal, then use your, I forget what it's called. What are you called? The move tool, there you go. I'm just going. And that's one. Then I like to duplicate those two. And since they're selected, go to edit, transform, flip horizontal, they're supposed to flip horizontal. Oh, not horizontal, vertical. There we go. And drag it down. And that's pretty much how to do this look. And I am done with that image. Now I'm going to show you pretty much how to do one of the corners opposites. And so I am going back to my elliptical marquee tool. And let's make a circle. And I don't go all the way down because this image has a smaller width and a bigger height. So if you go all the way down, like I could show you, see how it looks. Unless you want to, you know, an egg shape, then great. But then this corner will look so weird to me. And so I like to go like 2/3 into the image, and it has that semi-large but not too over-exaggerated corner. And then I do check mark, select inverse again, edit, fill, white, Control D, go back to rectangular marquee, and cut off half of the image, delete. And some people have started to do just the top or the bottom to be that way, with, you know, kind of like a bullet or a tombstone type of look. If you are into, or you wanted to know how to do that, that's one way. But if you want to do the opposites, what I do is I highlight half of it and I cut it, then go to edit, transform, and flip vertical, move tool, and drag it to, so now you have it on opposite ends. And what I started to do with my defaults, which a couple of people have been doing, is have a border beneath the cut is duplicate background, but it has to be underneath the rounded corner. And then I go to blending options, stroke, and do the inside. And I like to use gradients, but white and gray is not gonna do awesome, so let's do a green one. And then I press OK. And that's how I've been starting to do some of my defaults with, you know, have a border underneath it, which looks pretty cool. And so that's, you know, different techniques that I show you with that. And now I'm going to show you how to do shapes. I recommend you to go to DeviantArt or Google Photoshop shapes, and then go to the custom shape tool, which usually is at the bottom. Sometimes when you have Photoshop, you know, when you're looking for it, it's basically underneath the rectangular tool. So go to custom shape tool, and some shapes are featured, like these are in Photoshop, and some of the custom shape in Photoshop, you have these. But to get like nice shape ones, you have to pretty much Google and search for them. And so I'm going to show you how to just basically pick any one. And I already have a new layer, and what I do is I drag it out the best I can, and pretty much right there. And then to activate it, you do Control Enter, and that activates the shape. And then click on your rectangular marquee tool, and in the middle of the shape you select inverse. Oh, let me go back. If you didn't fit the each area of the frame of the image, you know, same thing, transform selection, and snap it to the best. And so forth, and then that, and then select inverse and do a new layer, and then fill white and Control D, and that's pretty much how to do shapes. You could do so many different kinds of defaults with the shape, and so knock yourself out. The cutout. I'm not an expert on the cutout because I don't do them that much, but I'm just going to show you how I do them. I go into my pen tool, and then I just randomly, sorry with that stupid message, and I just start picking different shapes. And now my phone, really, go away. Anyway, and I just like and just pick. So sometimes if that's a smaller corner, do a bigger corner here, and if this is a bigger corner, do a smaller one here. And then to activate them, do Control Enter and do Control Edit Fill, and then Control D. And sometimes, like I said, I'm not great at them, so I like to cut out the bottom, and then you flip the bottom, flip horizontal, and that's what I meant to do. It's, you know, sometimes it's smaller here, bigger here, smaller here, bigger here. And so that's how you get the cutout. And if you want to do the four corners cutouts, which I start to see like one or two people do, get the pen tool and cut off one small corner, and I activate it by doing Control Enter, new layer, fill, and so that gives you a small corner cutout. And then I'll duplicate it, flip horizontal, go to the corner, then I'll duplicate those two. And I know this image is, some of the areas is very light, sorry, it's not, you're not going to be able to see it that much, but for, let's just say they're there. I go to the top again, since top has a lot of light areas, it sucks, but you'll see, even if, let's say, I'll duplicate this and fill it black so you can see it. See, it looks like a picture frame. So it's the same technique as the small round, but these are the cutouts. You were able to successfully do all the shades for your defaults, and hopefully it was very easy and breeze as I showed a friend of mine this week. And if any other tutorials you guys would like to see, just let me know and I'll show you. Alright, have a good one.